Yes, hello and welcome to the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast betting special. We've gone the way too early odds. Season 2025 is right around the corner, Danny boy. This is brought to us by our good friends at UniBet. They've jumped on board with us this year. If you're not with UniBet already, make sure you hit us up, our code. It's an exciting year, mate. The football is just around the corner and this has got us more than pumped than ever.
Mate, super exciting, and we love talking far too early predictions. It's one of the favourite parts of the whole season. Like, we jump on nice and early, potentially walk away with some extra dollars in the pocket. It's always a win.
We're just going to throw a lot of mud against the wall and see what sticks today.
Well, but to be fair, last season when we were counting our positive units, we were up. We were up for a lot of last season, which is good. So hopefully you and I can do the same.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a little friendly competition as the season gets going, but no spoilers on that. We'll get to that in later episodes.
And we'll talk about it when it comes to the point. You'll be able to find our bets actually on UniBet. Bang, straight in there. Any Given Sunday specials. It'll be good fun this year, mate.
Oh, mate, I can't wait. Also, I want to beat you. And then two, want to win some money.
Might be some budgie bets in there just to see how it finishes off. We're going to get straight into the AFC and NFC champions. So this will be who playing off. We're going to pick who's going to win the Super Bowl. That's way too early.
Nah,
but who's going to be in the Super Bowl, mate? The AFC champs.
The AFC champs, honestly, I'm going a bit safe with this one, but I'm going with the Bills. I think they were right there last year. They're paying $4.50 to take out the AFC championship. Paying $4.50, which I think is like a decent amount of money, but they were right there last season. I feel like they can take that final next step. You know, we got Allen, who's just coming off an MVP season. He came out already in training camp. I don't know if you saw him in Hard Knocks, but he's like, the MVP meant nothing to me. The only thing that matters is the Super Bowl. And any QB that has that sort of mentality, I'm willing to back.
You've gone safe. I've gone safer. I've gone the favourites, the Ravens, but geez, they look good. And some of their off-season pickups, Jair Alexander, I reckon they've just added the pieces that they really need. They're paying $4.25. It really stinks of a good. And I don't know if you saw King Henry. He couldn't get any bigger, but
now he is.
He is huge. So $4.25 is just too nice of odds for me to go past.
A little outsider that I also like is the Bengals. A little bit of this.
We've spoken pretty highly of the Bengals.
We've spoken pretty highly of the Bengals in our season previews, but the Bengals, it's the QB knock-on effect. QB season 2 was so good. Watching Joe Burrow, they've actually tried to improve their defense a lot, and they're paying $11 to take that out. That's a little juicy outsider.
All right, NFC. Our teams. Your team is a favourite at $4.25, and my pack is at $11. We're not going to pick our own teams because that's way too obvious. Who's your little other than the Eagles?
Other than the Eagles, this actually really pains me to say because they're actually in my division, but it's the Commanders. I think what they showed last year was super exciting. You know, Jaden Daniels was doing crazy things for a rookie. If they can take that one step further and just push, unfortunately for me, it'll be the Eagles out of it. But they're paying $10 to take out that championship, and I think that's some decent odds.
I'm going to go, and if you've listened to, if we haven't put it out yet, our predictions for the NFC, I think the Bucks, the Baker Mayfield effect, he's going to be absolutely on fire this year. He's gotten better year after year with the Bucks, paying $15. So it's a bit of an outsider as well, but I really like the way that Baker Mayfield is coming along.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield's stolen everyone's hearts, hasn't he? Like, because the way he settled into that Bucks team, and you know, you can believe in him, and you can probably believe in him for the MVP.
Well, I reckon offensive player is a great way to start. Let's go with the offensive player of the year. Your mate Barkley, is that who you're jumping on? He's a favourite at $7.50.
With what he did last year, like there was multiple games where he's putting up so many yards, so many touchdowns. You know, he did that reverse hurdle. He's on the cover of Madden. It's really hard to go past at $7.50.
I like CMC as a bit of an outsider. He is an outsider. Coming back, it obviously leads, if he gets this, he's got comeback player of the year, which we'll talk about in a minute. But $23, they've got an easier run because they finished third in the division. So he's going to have a lot of easier games.
No more Achilles problems?
He went to Germany, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a magic. That's a magic done in Germany.
A bit going on in Germany. So $23 is and it's not for MVP, just for offensive player of the year. He's going to do what he did a couple of years ago if he's healthy. So I reckon $23 is pretty juicy.
And the Niners probably need it. They're struggling in the old wide receiver room. There's a lot of injuries going on. And
yeah, a lot of unavailability, so they're going to rely on him.
For sure. And what a person to rely on. Other than that, I think Jamar Chase, if we're looking, it's like someone in that little mid-range. So he's paying $11. If Joey B and the Bengals are going out and making it to the Super Bowl, well, Jamar Chase is probably the offensive player of the year.
Defensive is a lot tighter. There's a lot more players in that $8 mark. So the two favourites, Garrett and Parsons. Parsons is an interesting one. They're both at $8. Parsons wants out, so he hasn't got a team at the moment, but still paying $8.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. Like, if he's demanding a trade and still getting paid $8, it's going to be interesting. Like, he has every right to do it. But, yeah, we're interested to see if he can actually get it done.
The other outsider comes from your team.
Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is my pick, actually, for this. And I think he's paying somewhere in the 20s, but he...
Yeah, 21.
21, yeah. So he was absolutely dominant for the Eagles. Coming off his rookie year last year, he's only going to improve. He's going to have a bigger role in the defense this year. And if the Eagles are going to be a force to be reckoning with, well, they're going to have a strong defense. And that's going to come from Jalen Carter.
Yeah, so I like that. 21.
21?
There's some real juicy. That's where you've got that real tight bunch, but then it really spreads from there. And, it could come from outside of that, 4 or 5. So up to the MVP award. Again, there's a couple of favourites. The favourite's Lamar Jackson at $6.50, which, if in my prediction of the Ravens going well, it's probably going to be him. Who do you like outside of the favourite, mate?
Outside of the favourite, we got to jump on Joey B. Well, all we've done is talk about...
We both agreed on Joey B.
Well, all we've done is talk about quarterback season 2, but it definitely does have an effect, and they continue to improve. All their offensive weapons have been paid. He's got a big chip on his shoulder. They didn't make the playoffs last year. Super Bowl or bust for them this year, once again, as it always is for the Bengals. But at $7, it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
And my prediction of the Bucks making into the Super Bowl leads into, like you said, MVP for Mayfield, $36.
As a huge outsider, but he has every opportunity to do it. He had 16 interceptions last year. If he can tidy that up, well, he could definitely be an MVP. He'll at least be in the MVP conversation.
Has to be. Godwin coming back, he'll be fresh. All the other weapons that he's got just leaves me at Evans. Evans is a superstar, so he gets another 1,000-yard season. Godwin coming back fresh, mate. $36 is an absolute steal. We're going to go on to the rookies now, mate. Now this is going to be a little bit more contentious because there's one player you didn't want to talk about for the offensive, but we've got him on the defensive.
These rookies is going to be interesting. Rookie offensive and defensive player of the year is always a hard one to pick because, you got the people who went really early in the draft. Do you go for them? They're obviously going to be the smaller odds, or do you go for a player that you just love?
Ashton Genty, he's my pick. He's the favourite, the running back for the Raiders that don't know who he is. He was an absolute beast at Boise State, and they're going to feed him the ball.
He was the highest pick running back as well in this year's draft.
So only $3.50 though.
Yeah, so
we've had some $36 out there, so $3.50.
$3.50, but it kind of makes sense. They're going to use him a lot. Geno Smith is now at the helm, but it's going to be a completely new offense. They've had a full revamp, really, at the Raiders. New coach. You're probably going to rely on him a little bit, and plus you just want to see what he can do as a rookie.
I reckon, we didn't speak about him before, but Brock Bowers, those two in tandem, they're just going to open each other up. So having a good running game is going to allow Brock Bowers to be Brock
more
Bowers,
decent tight end, yeah.
And then you got to worry about Brock Bowers, which is going to open up Ashton Genty. So that's where I reckon that $3.50 is a favourite, but it's pretty safe.
Another one that's right up there is Cam Ward, number one pick.
Yeah.
Number one pick. He's always going to be up there, isn't he? But yeah, he's paying $4.50. The issue with that is it's just the Titans, isn't it? The Titans is the biggest question mark. He would have to go out and have just win on offense the whole time. Maybe the team's not coming away with the wins, but he's not making too many mistakes, and it's hard to be the QB in the team that got the number one pick.
Correct. Unless they come out and have a CJ Stroud type season, which I just can't see that happening with that side. A little bit of an outsider, and we had to put him in because he's my namesake. T-Mac, he's out of the Jags. He's going to be...
That's Tet McMillan for those playing at home who actually want to find him on UniBet. He won't be named as T-Mac.
He might be. I might have to put him in there as T-Mac. He'll be... he's going to have a year, I think.
Yeah, $11. And he's got Bryce Young thrown to him. That offense has had a full revamp as well. I quite like that. I quite like T-Mac at 11.
Yeah, I said the Jags, obviously the Panthers. What about rookie side of things? I feel like this is, again, really confined, and it's down to probably one or two.
Yeah, so this one is really hard to go past Abdul Carter. He was the highest drafted defensive player. He's paying $3.50 to take out this rookie defensive player of the year. How do you go past it? There was a reason he was picked so high, because he does dominate on that side of the ball.
And there was so much talk of him. He could have gone higher than what he did. So, I feel like he's bordering on a lock. Going wrong? Anything going wrong besides that? Interesting one we've put in, Travis Hunter. We have him. There's possibilities he gets both offensive and defensive rookie of the year, which there might be a market for that. But $11, why is he so high?
Because he's actually been listed as the wide receiver 1 and the second string cornerback. But I actually don't mind him at $11 for this one, because if he knows how to play the wide receiver role, well, then you know how to defend it in a quarterback position. And he's probably going to have more of an insight than most other people. So him at $11 is actually quite a steal.
And I reckon he'd be very much a confidence type player. So if he gets on a roll on the offensive side and they start throwing him in defense, he's going to be hot.
So hot. And also, like, he'll know exactly what the QBs are thinking and where they're going to be trying to position the ball. Watch him get a few intercepts and then watch that number drop down.
Yeah, 5 or 6 intercepts for the year, it'll be dropped. Comeback player of the year. This is another one. It's hotly debated in our circles as to what defines a comeback player of the year. I think the two that it's down to is fair. They've come back from pretty serious injuries, not much game time. They're not just coming back off being benched.
Yeah, it's my least favorite thing when a player comes back just from having a season where they got benched and then they come back and then win comeback player of the year. Or if it's like a superstar quarterback who's injured themselves and then come back and just goes back to their normal superstar self. Don't necessarily love that. But these two are pretty good. The favourite is Aiden Hutchinson. We all love Aiden Hutchinson. Heartbreaking injury for the Lions last year, but he's coming back at $3.75.
And CMC, I've put him up there for Offensive Player of the Year. So if he wins that, he's probably
going to get the Comeback Player of the Year. He might double dip for the award ceremony.
100%. So $4. It's pretty tight between those two, but I reckon it comes down to
it's almost at this point. I know it's super early on. We're looking deep into our hourglass here, but yeah, it's almost a flip of a coin between those two.
Well, I might say 25 cents between them.
Yeah. Oh, you can't flip a 25-cent coin.
No,
though.
you can't. There is not a 25.
Do we have a quarter? Is that a thing? We can try.
Now, this one I actually like a little bit of it's a head coach market. It usually comes from a team. This one's where if you're a good team, a good coach isn't going to get the recognition. So it's going to come from the teams that are either worst to first or coming up through the ranks. So the likes of, your pick, Benny Johnson at $7.50.
Yeah, I quite like this. So he's come from the Lions as the offensive coordinator and then come over to the Bears. Stayed in the same division, which is huge, makes such a difference. It's unbelievable. But he had that offense of the Lions absolutely firing, had trick plays left, right, and center. He was the main play caller too. So him coming over to the head coach, he's still going to be the main play caller there. He's already got that on lock. And I think this Bears side has already improved on all their offensive weapons. He's an offensive-minded coach going into a head coach position to a team that was struggling and added offensive weapons. Sold.
$7.50 juicy enough?
$7.50 is juicy enough for that one.
See, I like Mike Vrabel, and this just goes back to D'Amico Ryans, going back to your team and coaching. He's coaching at the Patriots. They were on the rise until they hit a bit of a hurdle last year, so I can see them. They take that next step. Mike Vrabel at $9 as well. He's just, I don't know, there's something about him. I reckon he's coming back. He had that pretty successful stint with the Titans, got him to the number 1 seed. He's prime for picking at $9.
I also quite like Liam Cohen. So he's the Jags head coach, new head coach. He came from the Bucks. He was their offensive coordinator, helped turn Baker Mayfield into what he is today, which is a huge thing. Obviously, now we're talking about him being in the MVP conversation, which he wasn't a couple of years ago without Liam Cohen there. And he's going into the Jags, which had a pretty bad down year. And I can only see that team getting better and better as this season goes on. So for him at $12 is a little outsider. If we're not going my mate Johnson, I'm going Liam Cohen.
He just needs to pick up his little Duval chant.
Yeah, well, that's not the worst thing. I mean, it just means he's not that much of a lad. Maybe he's just more of a coach than he is a fan.
Very analytical. And, mate, if you go by your picks for the Jags this year, then he's going to be right. If
my prediction is right for the Jags, then 100% that's your head coach of the year.
It was a real spicy.
If you haven't heard it, check out our divisional round previews.
Check it out. So, mate, exciting year. Like you said, we love getting in there way too early, throwing out some outrageous bets, but there's some genuine winners in there.
Oh, for sure. We look into the crystal ball, works every single year. Yeah. We'll throw enough out there that something's going to stick, isn't it?
A couple of units there, here and there. Again, powered by UniBet. We're going to be doing a lot with UniBet this year. It's exciting. Make sure you hit us up for our code if you're not on UniBet already. You've got the shirt on. I love it, mate. And
always repping.
It's an exciting year to come.
So good. Let's go. UniBet.